Good evening, everyone. Friends, Indian Chartered Accountants are one of the most robust professionals in the world, we can say, who have been trained through toughest and complex system of taxation as well as training. This is the reason we professionals who follow ethical and technical wisdom have ample of opportunities across India, across world. I see Akshay Gulhane, VICASA Chairman Nagpur Branch, along with Chairman Nagpur Branch CA Kirit Kalyani, Secretary of Nagpur Branch CA Jiten Saglani ji, and entire team of Nagpur welcome you all for today's webinar on opportunities for Indian CAs in UK. We are also fortunate enough to have with us CA Chugh sir, Honorable Central Council Member and Chairman of Committee for Export of CA Services and WTO. We thank the speaker for today's webinar as well, CA Mayur Sancheti ji from London and CA Kothari from Pune. To begin with, I request CA Kirit Kalyani, Chairman of Nagpur Branch, to give his welcome address. Kirit sir, over to you.
Thank you, Bhai Akshay. Namaskar. First and foremost, I, on behalf of Nagpur branch of WICAI, along with Team Nagpur, more specifically CA Jiten Saglani ji, Secretary Nagpur branch, and CA Akshay Gulhane ji, Chairman VICASA and coordinator for today's session as well, welcome you all to the virtual CP meet on professional opportunities in UK. Friends, I sincerely recognize the presence and commitment to serve the fraternity of CA Chugh sir from New Delhi, Honorable Central Council Member and Chairman of Committee for Export of CA Services and WTO. Friends, who is going to grace the VCM as he is with us and has agreed to lend his words of blessings and wisdom in his inaugural remarks. फ्रेंड्स मैंने उनसे पिछले हफ्ते बात की एंड आई सिंसियरली बिलीव जैसे मेरी बातचीत हुई एंड द वे he is shouldering responsibilities at the Central Council. I must say he deserves in the Central Council and is very humble and down to earth personality. We are sincerely welcoming you, Hansraj sir, on this occasion. Friends, also we are fortunate to have this international webinar with real connect, I must say, beyond borders being effectively established. Friends, we need to invest our time to explore the best possible opportunities for us beyond Indian borders as well. With this in mind, it was decided to have such webinars to guide us. I am also happy to share that this one is the third one in the row. First one was with CA Sunil Talati sir as one of the speakers. Second one was with CA Anish ji, Chairman Dubai Chapter, Ankit ji Verma from Canada, and CA Sayali Kothari ji from Pune. She is also going to guide us in this VCM as well. With key remarks was there of Praful Chajet sir. Yes, friends, as far as today's VCM, I need to convey that this program was being planned in the second week of June. Today it was for opportunities at USA, but because of some unavoidable circumstances at their end, it has been postponed. Then I contacted CA Sayali Kothari ji from Pune and CA Mayur Sancheti ji from London. The program that we are going to listen to the speakers today was planned in the next week, but they agreed to our request and the program has been preponed. I must sincerely thank both the speakers who are going to guide through this VCM. I must say Nagpur branch has found one very good friend come guide in the form of CA Sayali Kothari ji. She had guided in one more webinar as I conveyed earlier on 16th of May. Friends, मेरे को काफी लोगों के messages आए थे कि the way she deliberated, she must be brought back once again. And yes, I requested her, and she is back with us. क्योंकि last time जब मैंने उनसे बात किया था, तो उन्होंने जो research किया था और काफी लोगों से interact भी किया था कि the opportunities that we can explore abroad. She has very good experience on the practical difficulties the members are facing. So far as Nagpur members are concerned, she can guide very well. I am sure that yes, so far as today's VCM is concerned, we are going to be in the safe hands of CA Mayur Sancheti ji and CA Sayali Kothari ji as well, who is going to guide us with respect to professional opportunities in UK. Friends, Mayurji is from Aurangabad and knows what exactly CAs of Nagpur need to know. We have discussed with him during the last week very exhaustively. We decided to keep the deliberations focused on opportunities in accounting sector. Basically, both the speakers will be sharing knowledge, which is going to help us find ways to prosper with opportunity abroad. We are going to enrich ourselves with respect to some newer opportunities and newer ways to effectively knock doors of opportunities so as to ensure maximum possible professional favors to our side. Also, queries that you might be having are going to be resolved after the deliberations. Yes, friends, on forthcoming front, on Monday itself, day after tomorrow, we are going to have one VCM on wheels and nominations. CA Vimal Punamiyaji from Mumbai is going to guide. Then on Wednesday, GST assessment and search and business audits as well. CA Avinash Kothari from Surat is going to guide. On Thursday, GST burning issues, including refunds, directors' remuneration, Form 3 revision, like matters are going to be discussed. CA Vishal Poddarji from Nashik is going to guide. These were postponed for Nisarg cyclone affecting connectivity in the last week. It were scheduled. Now on Wednesday and Thursday, the same GST topics are going to be discussed. On Saturday, friends, one VCM for discussing MSME and various incentives is being planned. One more with CA Dr. Girish Ahuja sir is being in the thought process. On 21st, that is on International Yoga Day Eve, we are going to have yoga sessions. Also, professional opportunities at USA that was postponed is going to be there on 20th or 21st of June. I sincerely appeal you all to please stay in touch with the efforts of Nagpur branch and take maximum possible benefits of the deliberations. Once again, I will sincerely extend my well wishes and welcome CA Chugh sir, Honorable CCM, CA Mayur Sancheti ji from London, CA Sayali Kothari ji from Pune, and you all attendees as well, because of whom this VCM is going to be memorable. I sincerely wish you all a very joyous and fruitful session ahead. Thank you. It's over to you, Akshay.
Yeah, Akshay, am I audible? Akshay, you are not audible. Akshay, are you there?
Yes, I am there. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
missed.
you are not audible at all.
Uh, we have with us Chairman of Committee for Export of CA Service and WTO, CA Hansraj Chugh sir. To formally introduce Hansraj sir, I request Secretary of Nagpur branch, CA Jiten Saglani sir, to introduce him. Over to you, Jiten sir.
Thank you so much, Akshay. Friends, we have someone in the form of a friend, philosopher, and guide, and person who is very humble and down to earth, CA Hansraj Chugh sir from Delhi. And I got an opportunity to formally introduce him. Hansraj Chugh sir is a fellow chartered accountant, fellow company secretary, and law graduate. Along with that, he is an insolvency professional as well. He has more than 29 years of experience in the professional practice relating to foreign trade policy, GST, customs, FEMA, and banking related laws. He's a founder partner in Messrs. ASHM and Associate Chartered Accountants, which is based out of Delhi. He serves to various Indian corporates and MNCs in the above areas of practice. Friends, presently, sir is a central council member, and he's serving in this particular tenure, that is 19 to 22, and has been nominated as a chairman of the Committee for Export of CA Services and WTO in the year 2021. He's also chairman of International Placement Directorate for this particular year, 2021, and vice chairman of the Committee for Members in Industry and Business. He also served the profession of this particular profession of CA as a member of NISE for 2 terms, that is 2010 to 13 and 13 to 16. and held very vital positions as a secretary during the year 2010-11 and vice chairman during 15-16. He's a regular speaker on GST, foreign trade policy, customs law, insolvency and bankruptcy code. He's also a board member of the Institute of Insolvency Professionals of ICAI. Friends, let us all welcome Hansraj Chugh sir, and thank you, sir, for joining. Over to you, Akshay.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jiten sir. Now I request Hansraj Chugh sir to address the gathering. Sir, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Jiten, thank you, Akshay, and my great thanks to Kirit, who has been kind enough to invite me to this great platform and connecting with the north to the west also. And naturally, it has been well said that once north and the west are together, so they bring the best. And definitely with that kind of thought, we have been here, and two gentlemen one gentleman and one gentle lady also along with it. The Mayur as a speaker, maybe great exposure in the international system of the working in the professional capacity, and this Sayali, maybe the exposure, having the great exposure in the international system, though she is from Pune, and everyone is from the western part. It is well believed that West contributes a lot in the economy system, ecosystem of the country, and not only in the country, across the globe also. So that is a perception with which we live with. In the north also, we understand the west part of the country and the southern part, as well as north and the east and the central, if comes together, so definitely this whole of the profession can spread their wings across the globe. You see, like the boundary has no limitations now. With that understanding, these kind of programs are being taken forward, and normally it is at the national level, at the central council or the regional council. They normally believe in these kind of things. And heads off to the this Nagpur branch, they have taken a lead. They have brought these international system, and first is the understanding of the international system. That is the best part of it. The first thing, it always been said with, it is the vision which ultimately goes and ultimately brings the best of the results. And Nagpur is proactive in the understanding, and definitely with that understanding, if we go with, and if with a clear mind, if we go with, so then the halfway is already been completed. So I can assure all my friends, as far as our committee is concerned, it is proactive. It is bringing out so many things on the plate for each one of you, for the last person of this profession. So with that kind of things, we are here. And let me share some of the points which is coming to my mind. Though everyone say like Corona is a challenge, Corona has brought some crisis and it will be damaging something. But to my calculation, like I have seen the results of the export of the services and the import of the services for even of the highest time this month, for the month of April also, so this has not impacted at all. Maybe maybe some percentage, maybe 2% something, as far as the service sector is concerned. Though in the product sector, or we talk about the goods sector, it has impacted a lot. But in the service sector, because of the advantage of the technology, because technology, the service mechanism of our services to the overseas clients, it goes by way of the technology, or the some physical presence or some commercial presence in some of the sectors. But if it is through the technology mechanism, it has not impacted, rather it has improved upon. Better technology system has been evolved, and that has brought into the best of the results without impacting anything about the corona, even this COVID time also. And second, the best part goes with the language barrier. Basically, wherever we feel like there is a barrier of the language. This committee has already been taken forward some of the languages courses, whether Germany, whether it is Spanish, whether it is Dutch, or some other languages also. We have already started preparing our members to take them forward and bring them best of the strength of the understanding of their languages also. That is also bringing the fruit for the nation and the fruit for this profession also. And same way, our 34 chapters, those who are abroad, those who are the foreign chapters, they have also been proactively going to have the hand holding with the ICAI and to the different branches also, and the different our regional councils also. Let me just I was going through the last seminar of you, this Anis from the Dubai, he was somewhere part of your this webinar also. So that means it is a hand holding by the foreign chapters with the branches also here in India. So that is a great going for the joining hands. 1 + 1 is always been taken 11. So with that objective, with that kind of understanding, we as a leader have to make this happen. We will be the global profession in the real terms. Integration, definitely we can understand with the language barrier has gone. The knowledge as such, the accounting has been already been integrated, like we talk about the Ind AS or the IFRS. Same with GST also. The so many things has already been into place wherever there is a difference, that has to be one can own way. Also the committee also has a lot of programs to do with by way of the orientation from the overseas chapters, understanding of the different software being used there, or the different law anomaly law integration required, that has already also there in the pipeline. This the other part I would like to share with each and every member of the fraternity, more so but with the leader of the branches also. The ICAI has already entered into some MOUs also, like one MOU with the Service Export Promotion Council, which is already in place. One MOU with the Invest India. Basically, you see, like whenever the money starts flowing from the overseas, the first comes is the Invest India. They are the channelizing agency. They are under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. SCPC is with the objective of promotion of the export of the services also. So those kind of understanding, those kind of handholding with the other institutions also, other bodies also are already there, and some are already in the pipeline. Like we are going to plan some MOU with the Export Promotion Council of the EOUs and the SCZs. Some are with the some programs with the IIFT also. Basically, you see, like we are living in a global environment. So unless until we know the best of the knowledge, the Foreign Trade Institute of India, Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, is one of the institution under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, which is being empowered, which has a research based for the export of the goods as well as the services. That will be becoming in the time to come. We are in the talk with them, and they will be part of our system somewhere by way of the MOU, and bringing best of the knowledge for our professional fraternity. And same way, we are going to the connecting with the foreign embassies also, and Indian embassies abroad also, Indian missions abroad, for the handholding and helping our professionals to empower us and to make our profession to reach to the each and every country. Basically, now so far we are not put our footprints at different countries. Now, whether it is the developing nation, whether it is the landlocked countries, or the underdeveloped countries, or those who have already developed countries, we are targeting number of countries in this system. And these the gentlemen today and whosoever the speakers, they have a strength of their knowledge, they have a strength of their understanding, and they will be bringing us best. Both of them, I feel today these two speakers will be giving best to the profession at the branch level, maybe in the time to come collective with so many branches, and maybe in the regional council, and in the time to come at the national level also. Basically, what the advantage for the India is there, the startup ecosystem is quite good, being developed. Now it is maturing with the passage of the times, because of the vision of the nation, vision of our leaders at the national level, vision at the leader of our professional level, our president and the vice president. They are also doing best and the ease of doing business in India has already ranking has been improved a lot during the last 3-4 years, and more so it is not depending on the money, because you need the resources plays a very best of the role, whether it is the goods now, and in the case of the services sector also. Earlier it used to be a professional services with one chair and one table. That is not the concept now. Now you need to have a lot of money to be spent with good infrastructure required, good technology required, good systems required, everything good, office equipments required. Now FDI has also been start moving for the service sector, though earlier it used to be only for the purpose of the as goods only, or the manufacturing sector also. This FDI rules has already been in place under the automatic route. Service sector can also bring 100% FDI. With those kind of concepts, those kind of growth path, I hope the service sector, and more particularly the export of CA services and the export of services which a professional chartered accountant can render overseas across, they will be beneficial. They will be going with the best of the growth in the time to come, maybe passing by, as the time passing by, maybe 5 years down the line will be double with it. So with that concept, this profession has to grow with, and leader at the branches has to play best of the role. Because of the reason, like Kirit bhai and whole of the team, Akshay also, Jiten also, and other executive members of the committee, they have played best of the role. First is the knowledge. Knowledge is the power. First, once you bring the knowledge, they are been taken care by way of the motivation, and they only find out how they can reach to the overseas clients, how they can approach to them. And this is a good process I can share with you, and I appreciate the efforts made by the branch. I really appreciate the efforts of the our speakers, those who are bringing the knowledge to last person at the branch level, because branch is the level which they reach to the last one. So with these words, I'm very grateful and thankful to the whole of the branch, Kirit ji, Akshay ji, Jiten ji, and whole of the team, other team members also, for inviting me for these words. Whatever came to my mind, I have shared with each one of you, and I assure you, to each one of you, branch members also and the members of the branch also, ki wherever you feel like, where ICAI through this committee or the different committee where you need me, I'll be always there, with whatsoever the manner you need my help, or at the institute level, whether for this committee also or for any other committee, whether it is in my ambit or not. Even if it is not there, my so many friends are there as a council member. Through them also I can mobilize anything good required for the branch also. Thank you for serving to the whole of the fraternity, and thank you all for inviting me here. Thank you, friends.
Thank you so much, Hansraj sir. Definitely, torchbearers like you will take us to brand building of ICAI across the globe. Thank you so much for guiding us. Friends, now moving forward, first speaker of the webinar, CA Sayali Kothari ma'am. To briefly introduce Sayali ma'am, CA Sayali Chandalia Kothari carries with her decade plus of rich global corporate experience, including conventional practice. Among her recent corporate positions, she was UK Operations Manager at Smith & Nephew, globally leader in healthcare manufacturing, with international financial institutions, investment banking, Credit Suisse, Group, Dashes Bank Group as an associate. Sayali is recognized speaker, a respected faculty, and is an active member of national and global association dealing with professional development and women as well as young empowerment. Sayali ma'am, we welcome you and request you to please deliver your session. Over to you, Sayali ma'am.
Yeah. Am I audible and visible?
Yes, not visible.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Such a great words. I mean, thank you very much, Akshay, for this great starting. And Chugh sir, I mean, I am feeling that, we should not talk and he should keep on talking and telling us about, everything, what these treaties have and what we have. But taking this opportunity to move it further. So let's quickly, in my next 10-15 minutes, what I'm planning to do is we are going to talk about the Brexit. We are going to talk about Corona effect. We are going to talk about the treaty, right? Very, well explained by Chugh sir, that we have different treaties and we should utilize these MOUs for our betterments. So one of the MOUs which has been signed between England and Wales, I mean Institution of Chartered Accountants of England and Wales. So I'll try to introduce what are the benefits, how one can really go for it, and what are the challenges. So before moving that, I know, yes, during this Corona and Brexit things, the true ramification of this would take months, if not years, to become apparent. And while there are a number of possibilities that can play out in the coming months, it is important for us to take a step back and gauge the impact on the Indian economy through its linkages with the UK and the broader EU economy. So there are different sectors in the UK where India has already the footprints. For example, consumer and industrial products, manufacturing, retail and distribution, power and utilities, life sciences, technology, to name the few, and of course our most beloved financial services, that is banking and securities, insurance, investment management, and yes, there is one more, real estate. So these are, these sectors could endure some negative effects as businesses could hold up the decision to invest further on account of ambiguity, on the outrage of this Corona plus Brexit. But then, and also further, depending on which way the negotiations go between the UK and EU, it stands as well as being UK being, the world's largest and most prominent financial hubs. This can cause Indian firms to really reassess their operations in UK and move investment and ties someone else, which turn could also affect the flow of Indian personnel to the UK. It would be a quite good reading for all of us. There are different scenarios. For example, the Norwegian model, I mean, joining the European and economic area, the Swiss model, where the bilateral treaties are there. There is WTO. There is a Canadian model, which comprehensive of economic and trade agreements. So at this juncture, yes, it is almost futile to look for this Brexit and Corona uncertainty, but that is an aspect most of the economists and corporates would have to deal with. The way forward would be volatile and can possibly subject to changing political equations in the EU and UK itself. So while it will be beneficial for both of us, I mean the UK and India, to resolve the situation as fast as possible, then the reality can be different. And given these circumstances, Indian companies can expect some hit to their UK businesses, as overall growth in the country slows in the immediate this current short run. A weaker currency is also mean that any repatriation of profits from the UK region may result in losses as compared to the pre-Corona and pre-Brexit era. However, what I feel is in the mid of the long run, if the forces of globalization play themselves out well, and even such as Brexit or Corona may turn out to be positive for India, definitely, and it will definitely bring it closer with the UK and EU model. In to begin with, like, how can we be very well equipped, or how can we start it, is I think the winner will be those in this sector who are prepared for this change and they're alive for these opportunities, because if we cannot, I mean, collectively this PBS sector, I mean professional and business service sectors, they are integral part of our economy, and it is like millions and billions of dollars that have been involved in this. So I think these PBS firms are vital component for the trade and investment support ecosystem in facilitating and underprinting the UK trade more widely. And for this, I believe, yes, quickly jumping on to our presentation. So Akshayji, can you please present? I'll stop sharing my screen, and if you can present my presentation, then I can go through with this MOUs what we have with England and Wales Institute.
Yes, ma'am. Kirit sir, can you share, please? Sayali ma'am, you can continue till the time the presentation
Okay.
starts.
All right. Chalo, theek hai. So examination of experience. So amongst the many MOUs what we have with institute. So this is one of the. I mean, there are different institutes like Institute of England and Wales, Institute of Scotland, Institute of Ireland, ACCA to name the few, and we have one treaty with ICAEW. So to that can be a little disheartening, but this treaty is just applicable who have served 5 years plus being a chartered accountant. So this examination of experience is quite rigorous assessment that requires one to demonstrate the professional skills and everything as equal to ACA case studies. So the ACA, I mean the ACCA things. So if there are only 3 requirements. One, I mean, there are 5 requirements, but to note, to give, you got to be a full member of a professional body. You have to have 5 years of full membership. So you must have at least 5 years of full membership completed fully by the relevant submission deadline. So, for example, the deadline starts from 13th June. Sorry, 18th June, and it ends at 16th of August this year. So we should be, we should be completing 5 years before this June. And membership, the membership what we've gained, it should be through normal education and training route. So we must have gained the membership through our normal education and training route. Then number 4 should be CPD compliance. CPD is continuing professional development. So as a fully qualified current member, we need to compliant with our CPE hours and everything as per our institute says it. Then we got to have the good standing, letter of good standing. So what that letter of good standing means, that you need to I mean, we need to be a member in good standing with a good disciplinary record and no outstanding complaints against us. Then there would be a sponsor support. So sponsor by mean that we don't need to have this what you call financial sponsor, but then yes, we have to have eligible sponsor. For sponsor also there is a eligibility criteria. So this must so that sponsor is an individual who holds a current membership of professional body, that is IFAC member. So don't worry, IFAC member, we are one of, I mean, ICAI also a member of IFAC. So anyone who is a chartered accountant plus 5 years of experience can be your sponsor, provided that sponsor gets you the letter of good standing. And yeah, that is it. So you got to be a 5 years, you got to have your letter of good standing, and you got to have the good standing of sponsor, and sponsor should ready to vouch for you that okay, I know this person, and whatever like whatever he or she has written is quite true and fair view, it is correct. So that's about it. These are the only eligibility criteria what we need to earn for ACA, ACA, which is the prefix for our ICEW things. Then quickly moving on to the questions. So the good news is we don't really have to study for this and get have the longest syllabus and long hours to study. It is just one simple essay writing paper wherein it assesses the past experience and achievements, your planning and analytical skills, your ethical awareness and professional judgment, your quality of thought, and awareness of current and tactical issues. So these are the things which are going to be assessed when this examination of experience is going to take place. When can we do it? Anytime, whatever suits you, you can do it. So it's not like that you have the window or you got to take up any date. Whenever it is suitable, you can submit it. While submit it, you have to have these three things ready: your letter of good standing, your sponsor's letter of good standing if he is ICAI member, and the third thing, your the written exam. So it is just 5 questions more or less. I mean, there are sub questions though. So there are just 5 questions that we are going to write our experience based on it. So the 5 question would be identification of business issues. So using our recent work experience, describe how we identify 2 different businesses or professional issues. That is question number 1. Question number 2 is analysis of issues. So using our recent work experience, we need to describe how we used our technical expertise or business knowledge to analyze the business or professional situation. Then there would be question number 3, application of personal judgment. So using our recent work experience, we need to describe how we have used our professional judgment in choosing between the options. Question number 4 would be development of advice. So using our 5 years of experience, we need to describe 2 situations where we've used our technical knowledge or practical experience to develop the advice. And last, approach towards ethical issues. So we need to demonstrate how we dealt with these ethical issues. As simple as that. We just have these 5 questions with our disposal. Whenever we can write, we want to write. And yes, the good news is only 500 per, I mean, there is a limit. So 3,000 words to 6,000 words we have to write. So it is not something that, we have to write, go on and on. It is just simple paper that we need to apply. So and fortunately, yes, there are there are services, and there is a support system which even reads our these answers and rectify us or channelize it further. So there is a team in India as well. Officially, they are called as Vandana Saxena Puria at ICAEW.com. So they officially they are authorized for this treaty and MOUs. I in any capacity, I am not advocating anything. It's just because our today's topic is UK related thing, and I find that doing this ICAEW certification or having ACA from this can be quite useful for us, and that's how I chose to introduce it. And yes, it is a big dent to our pocket because it's a 300 pounds examination fee. Once you clear that, then you cannot use it as an ACA unless you have a membership with ICAEW, and that membership would cost you around 385 pounds per year, and that year would start from January to December. So there is no rush that immediately if you cleared your exams and you have to get into membership or something. No, that's not required. But then yes, you cannot utilize this ACA unless you are a member. Just by clearing the exams, you don't become a member of ICAEW. So in nutshell, these are the things which I wanted to talk about regarding this Institute of Chartered Accountants of England and Wales. So Kirit, can you please go up? Yeah. So no, not that one. Yes, that's it. So the application process and getting started is so on I mean, we've already surpassed 4 slides, and this is the end of the slide. So the application process and getting started is quite easy. You need to register yourself, and that's it. For registration, there is no charges. But application process, as I said, there are windows from June to August. At any day you can submit it. While submitting, you have to have the letter of good standing, your letter of good standing. If you're taking sponsor as institute ICAI's member, then his letter of good standing and a signed form from him, and that's about it. There is a tweak in it. If you get this signed by ICAEW member already, then that sponsor need not to give us the letter of good standing. Then how to ask for letter of good standing? Simple email to good standing at and say I can share it a little later. So we have this separate service, MCM service, which we have, and there is a email address for this. You just simply have to ask for it that I need for ICAEW, and they would within 10 working days, I believe, they give you all this letter of good standing handy. And prices and dates, yes, I spoke about it. The price, while application, it is 300 GBP, and the dates are I told you June, and 16th of August 2020 is the last date, and 4 p.m. London time is the last entry when you can submit your application. So that's about the now submission of your application. It got to have in a Word document. Do not play around with their format or their. So there are quite clear instructions given on this website. If you go and search for ICAEW website and pathways, I mean examination of experience, you would get step by step everything in detail, what needs to be done and how it needs to be done. So resubmission, what if you fail? So yes, you just can give 4 attempts, unlike our CA things. There is a restricted resubmission. There are only 4 attempts that you would be allowed to do it. And support with the application, as I mentioned, there are different support systems available. You can get in touch with them. There are different webinars which are happening, and they likewise we are doing. They take up the personal questions and solve it, and enlighten us with their processes. It is quite helpful, and I find it quite helpful because I am also taking up this exam really soon. And these are the links which I have shared with you, that what needs to be done. So even if you go to ICAEW and search for examination of experience, you would find everything. There is a separate email for student support, so you can jot down your questions. Of course, you can ask me questions post this webinar. Post this. But then, if you really want to have some technical or some there is a glitch regarding your application, you can really get into a touch with these guys. So that's about ICAEW. Why am I stressing to get it done? And I am in no way advocating, or I'm in no capacity to authorize it. But then it's a good to have if you really want to get along with the UK thing. Yes, you got to have this additional certification done. So there are different things. Diploma in IFRS by ACCA is there. Now the treaty is there. How fantastic it is! It is just 5 questions, and you are through. You don't have to study anything. You don't have to go to the examination and you don't have that heart throbbing things what we faced in our CA curriculum. So it's our disposal. Whenever we want to do, we can do it and just submit it at one go. So that is something I really liked about it. Yes, it's quite hefty to our pocket, like it's 385 per year membership, but then yes, they have their additional benefits around it. You got to have this signing authorities. You can sign their balance sheets, and there are different fees for it. If you want to be in practice, you got this £81 extra to be submitted, but that's another case. That is when you want to really get in such clients and you want to sign as Indian ICAI member. So that's about it regarding England and Wales. Now that Chugh rightly mentioned that world is getting shrinked and everything is quite closer, and we need to have this. We can tap the opportunities sitting at home, and of course we in detail dealt with how can we tap the opportunities in our last webinar, that even in sitting in India, what are the prerequisites, I would like to cover it for the corporate sector though, because I have more, my experience is more aligned to this corporate sectors. So that's how it is. I mean, it is an additional advantage. By no matter CA itself is sufficient, but then it's a good to have thing. It's a value addition to your profile. If you really want to get up and go to UK for settlement or for something. Predominantly such, I mean, of course, Mayurji would elaborate on us how to do it and what are the avenues and everything. So let me restrict my views just to this investment banking and other areas, that how can we really tap such opportunities. So number one is you get in touch. I mean, as I explained in previous webinar as well. So there are 3 offices: front office, middle office, and back office. So in front this front offices are always in outside India, or middle office is all outside India, and back office is somewhere we predominantly work. So to get into UK, the first preference would get in touch with these departments who are outside India. I mean, and they are into UK. That's how you can, you would have you would be saved from all this visa formalities or finding a new job over there, because it is straight and simple. They would take you on their payroll, and it's simple for us to go there and join. Once you settle down and once you are there on their payroll, then it will be easy for you to search for the new avenues or new markets or new roles or new companies for that matter. But I mean, I would advocate always that if you find something from India itself, rather than going to the UK and searching, find something right now and then apply and go logically about it. So which are those areas, or which are those investment banking areas can give us such opportunities to go and establish ourselves in the UK? So there can be product controller, legal entity controller, due diligence, control and compliances, portfolio management, then regulatory reporting, risk management. I mean, I'm just reading out these different sectors which we've already covered. So product controller is being into you kind of support this product controller who is predominantly a front officer. Legal entity, as I said, that legal entity can be anything for risk or for taxation or for broker dealer or anything. So you can have this you can go as a legal entity controller there. Due diligence, control and compliances like SOX compliances are there. There are different regulatory regulations also. So you can go into control and compliances, and the hot cake is Brexit. So if you are really interested to learn and understand the nitty-gritties of Brexit, so this control and compliances can be a very good opportunity for us to tap for it. For example, when when I moved from investment banking to this manufacturing hub, and to tell you a short story regarding this manufacturing hub, so we had this UK-based manufacturing and having warehouses in EUs, I mean the region of EUs. But due to this Brexit, I tell you, it was the nightmare for me to understand, how this supply chain would work, or how this warehousing things would work, or how this taxation things would work. So it requires a lot of knowledge and a lot of working for us to understand what are the Brexit implication. And that's how I started through Brexit, because this is going to be the reality in the UK. And we cannot just shun away saying that no, Brexit is something, it's quite bigger and quite not applicable to me. No, it is applicable somewhere or other. You be in investment banking, or you be in manufacturing, or you being anywhere, some or other ways you will be impacted on this. So I am not expecting that one should have this expert knowledge regarding Brexit, but whatever area we want to go, at least we should know. For example, this manufacturing industry, we should know how this supply chain would work, how this warehousing things would work. I mean, how can you reconcile this? How can you have the taxation implication? Where, I mean, which countries if you set up your warehouses and how you deal with it, because then there would be VAT, then there would be everything which would fall in place. So that is going to be your wider perspective. If you really want to grow internationally, then yes, we have to have this Brexit related information quite handy. And that goes without saying that it will impact on our internal audits, it will impact on our regulatory reporting, it will impact on our risk management, because I can vouch for it. When there was a hard close, then it was a haywire for everybody to bookkeep everything and sanitize our bookkeeping. So that was quite a challenging job to have this data governance and bridging those gaps. And so that is where we as a professional can get into the shoes of controls and compliances, apart from all of these other roles which we have already mentioned in previous webinars. So I don't really want to get in details of this. If you have, I mean, those who have not attended those, you may ask the questions regarding this. And so apart from this, what you really I mean, not you, I mean, one need to understand that London is a multicultural city, and with due respect, they still feel that they kind of rule us. So we got to be quite sensitive when we present ourselves. There is going to have a biggest challenge, accent challenge, that is because their accent can be really hard on us. And as Chugh rightly mentioned, yes, we have different initiatives like French and Germans and English and speaking classes. So please, I would suggest go and enroll yourself for such kind of facilities which CA Institute, alma mater, is providing us. Then there would be communication. Again, I will reiterate, communication is the key. Third thing, networking. So there are different platforms, like there is a BCJ, I mean, business Britain, BBJ, business Britain, Britain Business Group or something like that. So likewise, we have different trade groups like Jito, or we have what do you say? So there are different groups are available. You can get in enroll with such if you really want to have this business services. Even real estates are they have their group, and you can extend your uh, services being a chartered accountant and sitting here and charging in GBP. So these are the avenues, and these are the structural things which I think can be the next thing for us. So unless if we have specific questions or this thing, I would like to focus on the soft skills what we need to have. So one, as I said, networking. Second, communication. Communication includes your includes our accent understanding plus written and verbal communication. And third thing, so understanding the business, understanding the cultural things over there. You got to be quite disciplined because people can be quite sentimental about the thank yous and sorries and please. So we as we say, be as a I mean, do as a Romans do when you are in Rome. So that's how we got to do in such scenarios. So that's about it. I mean, with this 10 minutes which have been allotted to me, I think I would like to stop it here to listen to Mayur for more practical approaches and how to apply for the visas and everything. And if you have any specific question, yes, we are available on different platforms. So do get in touch. Would be happy to happy to share my insights, or would be happy to learn more from you as well. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Akshay. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sayali ma'am. Definitely your deliberation point to point has helped a little bit, we can say, how to kickstart it. Friends, as Sayali ma'am has said, we need a good standing certificate from ICAI for getting into the MOU examination. So I can mention the email ID. It is goodstanding@icai.in. I repeat, good standing, GOOD standing@icai.in. Once we submit the request over this email that we want to apply for the Institute of Chartered Accountants of England and Wales, within 1 week you will get the good standing certificate. Thank you so much, Sayali ma'am. Today we have our second speaker, CA Mayur Sancheti ji from London. We have always tried how CAs out of India are working, what is their approach and the client management. And to know about the same, CA Mayur Sancheti ji from London is going to deliberate about the same. Mayur sir is the founder director of UK-based accountancy firm Latest Consultancy UK Limited that serves clients in Europe and Asia from its offices based in London and Aurangabad and 50 plus employees. After completing his chartered accountancy degree in India, Mayur pursued his master's in management from Nottingham University, UK, with a goal to set up his own firm. He began his career in a London-based accountancy firm for 3 years. That led to setting up of Latest Consultancy UK Limited in 2010. As a founder director, he has been driving force of his company, achieving multiple milestones in short duration of time and expanding firm's client base to 15 countries across Europe and Asia. Under Mayur's leadership, Latest Consultancy continues to focus on leveraging innovation and cutting-edge technologies in finance and accountancy sector. It has developed a successful and sustainable accountancy outsourcing business model, resulting in efficient solutions for its clients across UK. In addition to his accountancy practice, Mayur also owns and manages a portfolio of properties across UK through his other business venture and involved in various charitable activities. Lot to learn from you, Mayur sir. Over to you.
Thank you, Akshay. You are good. We are good to go. Can you hear me? Perfect. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Akshay. Thank you, Kirit ji, all Nagpur branch giving me opportunity today to present my views. Let me show my screen as well. Yeah, present my view. And thanks everyone for joining this webinar during this pandemic. And I hope everyone keeping well. And thank you, Hansraji, for giving quite a few new things which I never knew about it. So I'm pretty sure these are very helpful to me and everyone who are listening today. And again, thank you, Sayali, explaining very clearly how the ICAI exam works. And I did that myself. So I will not go in more detail, but I might add a couple of points to that, which might be very practically helpful for everyone. So rather than going in more details, I would like start straight away kickstart our presentation. So let me share my screen. Akshay, can you send me invite or can you see my screens now?
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay, perfect. So today's topic is all about United Kingdom business opportunities for Indian-based chartered accountants, and more importantly, practical consideration. So whole point today, I'm not going to go in any theoretical thing, any of the accounting standards or bylaws and everything. I will just want to point it out, all the practical things one need to know. And I've been doing this journey from last 12 years. So I would like to share quite a good things which we did, some mistakes we did, which we don't want you to do it as well, and how we corrected this. So all this scenario, all this webinar will be based on practical things. So I go to the next slide. So whole goal today for this webinar is someone who is listening today to have a clear understanding. If you want to be in UK, if you want to be doing any business in UK, or you want to be keeping any professional collection, what are the ways, what are the rules, what are the options you have available, and how to obtain that, what are the challenges you will face, what are the solution for it, and you by end of this webinar, I presume you should have a clear understanding what you have to do if you want to do something in United Kingdom. So that's the whole goal of this session. So today I'm going to cover 6 major points, and I just thought this is our agenda today. I'm going to tell you a bit about United Kingdom, how it is and what sort of things happening here. Then I'm going to tell what are the opportunities are in United Kingdom for Indian chartered accountants. And then I'm going to speak very importantly, and this is something unique as well, I presume, where there's a lot of opportunities based in India for the Indian chartered accountant. It means you will not be shifting here or doing business here, but you're still based in India and you generating business opportunities related to UK market from the India. And fourth thing about ICAI membership options, which Sayali already explained in more nicely and details. And then a couple of more points which are relevant I see for today's seminar. How UK government approach COVID-19 in a financial term, how they approach the businesses, what packages they given, which will be very interesting to know. And you can see the differences each government tackling these problems. And lastly, then I will just brush up a little bit about how the property business works, who are the big countries who are coming forward and investing in the UK properties, including India as well. So straight away, I go to my next slide about United Kingdom. So all of you as know, United Kingdom is mainly made of 4 countries: England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. These are 4 countries. There's no border restriction. They are for different countries. They act as a one group called United Kingdom. One visa. If you get a visa, you will get visa for all 4 countries. And there's no border restrictions. Now, as everyone must be hearing from last many years, London is like a financial hub. Mainly, couple of main reasons. London is centrally located. We are right in the middle between New York and Mumbai. Flight is about 8-9 hours either way, and a lot of new things, a lot of innovative things happening all over here. Example, gold, all metal prices still decided from London. Even a lot of there's a one street in London called one street called in London called Lawyer Street. So even the big law, any contracts happening with the big companies still happening from that street. So just to give you a brief, how globally London is connected. And once you are here, you have an opportunity, you have access to all over the world easily. A lot of people coming in, going out, and the travel, a lot of people from overseas. If you come here on the street, you will see different country people staying here, doing businesses. So there's no border or there's no restriction on it. If there's it's a multicultural city, I presume. Next, I go to ease of doing business. As Mr. Hansaj also told us how important of ease of doing business. So as one of the developed countries and UK ranking 8 in the world of ease of doing business. What really it means? It means any business who want to start business, whether it's a UK business or whether someone coming from overseas, what are the formalities they have to do? What are the easier way options they have? What are the bureaucracy they have to face? So in London, I can tell you there is no very less formalities. Everything is on the paper. As long as you follow these guidelines, there's no stopping you. So it's very easy, very straightforward. There's no ifs and buts. As long as you have complied all the legal requirements, you will get your work done. Then next, just to give, because when UK comes, the Brexit is one of the biggest topic last 3-4 years. You must be listening on the newspaper or even the telly. Brexit. So Brexit, what it's all about. Brexit is like Britain getting exit from European Union. So European Union is like a union of 27 European countries, which include Germany, France, Netherlands. So these countries come together and they form one European Union where there's no border restriction, free trade, there's no taxes between the countries. If you're buying and selling of goods, there's a free movement of people as well. So that's how it's been working as of now. But come this December, this is the deadline government decided where Britain is coming out of the European Union. And obviously this has many implications. Whether European Union accept, they will put some new taxes, whether a trade deal happen between Britain and European Union. So these are the very important point. You have to be taking care and keeping a track of it if you wanted to do something in United Kingdom, because this is gonna affect every businesses. Then next point, I want to tell something about startups in UK. Mainly, London is one of the biggest hub of startups. Government is very helping. There is the place called Canary Wharf in London. It's like a BKC in Mumbai, where government has one huge building and one whole floor, all with all the facilities for the startups. There is no costing there. You can go. You have office place there. It's all provided by government. You can meet there, like-minded people, and government provide a lot of grants as well in the financial support. As long as you have a sustainable business model, sustainable startup plan, you will get plenty of grants here. And I'm talking about the big numbers. As long as you have a realistically good model, there's so many grants available, not for the only UK citizen, for whoever across the world. As long as you have some logic in your startups, you have plenty of investor, you have plenty of government support to do that. Next, I just want to tell you quickly about what are the tax authorities in UK. Like back in India, we have income tax, we have our compliance department, Companies House. The same like in UK, we have HMRC, which is Her Majesty Revenue and Custom, who looks after all the direct, indirect taxes. And the Company House. Company House is like a compliance where you can form companies and all the company related formalities you do. Because I've been into practice last 12 years, trust me, everything is online. We never been visited any of the HMRC or Companies House offices ever so far. Of course, couple of times these guys visited our offices on behalf of our client. We are representing if they have some queries and all. That's the only thing you need to deal. If you have any problem in any of the taxation, you can straight up pick up your call and call them, and they will solve your problem. As long as you did any mistake, even if, as long as did genuinely, there is no penalty. So this is how friendly it is, just to give you a bit brief. And lastly, all about India and UK laws. We know our India laws are mainly based on UK laws, the accounting standard, the constitution. So there's quite a bit similarity. So if you want to learn something in UK, you already know about 80-90% of the things yourself. So this leads to just a bit of brief of what is United Kingdom all about. And now I go to the main topic now, obviously. And while doing some preparation for our today's webinar, I come across very interesting fact. So Lunch is a research-based company, quite famous here, who did research, and they research all the mostly commonly outsourced business process from the United Kingdom, which are the most process which are outsourcing from United Kingdom. And you will surprised to see IT and accountancy both are at 37%. And you know our big companies, big IT companies, Tech Mahindra, Tata's, all these are IT companies. So we have a equivalent opportunity with the 37% for accounting as well. So the whole point is just I want to give you a brief how big market it is, how big scope it is if you want to tap these opportunities. I go to my next point, which is very relevant and which is very important as well. So many opportunities for Indian-based chartered accountants in the United Kingdom. So if someone want to be in United Kingdom or doing business in United Kingdom, what are the options they have? So I had divided in two parts. Mainly, if someone want to be employment, basically, if someone want to shift over to United Kingdom, he want to settle down here and do some employment thing. Then what are the options he has? So I will start with that. So right now, in 2012, about 8 years back, pre-2012, visa rules are very easy. Indian chartered accountant, as we know, have a high level of standards. If you have a chartered accountancy degree before 2012, getting a UK visa is just so simple because on the degree base, you will tick most of their boxes. But 2012 rules are changed. It's getting very difficult to get a visa, but it doesn't mean you will not get it, but it's getting difficult. So what are the choices you have now? So generally, if you want to come here to stay here for a work assignment, so best option is intra-company transfer. It means if you have a company based in India and they have an office in UK as well. So these are the common types where people come to United Kingdom and settle down here through intra-company transfer, like all Deloitte, Big Four. They have offices everywhere. So companies like this, they have a lot of intra-company transfer employees from one country to another. But there is of course some restriction. When you come on an intra-transfer, you will not allow to work anything else apart from employing for them only. So if you come here, you will not able to do another business or another job. You have to be working with them only. Second bit easier option is one of the UK companies can sponsor you. So UK company based in United Kingdom, and he thinks you are a good talent for that company growing and all, so they can sponsor you. And it doesn't cost a lot. I find this is a bit easier way, as long as you get some company who are registered with Home Office. Home Office is like a visa granting authority here. And the process is very simple. There are a lot of lawyers here who can help companies and the individual to get this sponsorship done. So this is one of the easy option compared to intra-company. Then it's a good news what's happening because of Brexit. Uh, 2000 December 2020, government thinking Brexit will be fully implemented. It means European people will need a visa like other people, like Indian or other Chinese people need a visa to come over here. It means there's a lot of opportunities going to open for us, and no favorable visa rules. And now because of that, government decided in December, which is expected in December, government revised their all the visa rules, and they're going to make very flexible for every citizen outside European Union, like pre 2012. It means the getting visa going to be very easy. They're going to come up with many new schemes, and I think this is the time you have to, if you really want to be here, this is the time to follow this and keep yourself ready. What the things you will need that time, so you're ready right now. There are quite a few agencies here who help you to get this visa done. Another option is student visa. So even if you complete a chartered accountancy and if you want to come here for studies or something similar to that, or maybe any courses you want to do, so you can come here on a student visa. After you completed your course, the government give 2 years post-study work visa. It means for the next 2 years you can stay here after completing your course. You do whatever you want. You can work with any company. You can do your business. You can try to find out this outsourcing opportunity. So this is also one of the very important and new route basically. But of course, student visa means you expect to come here for studies and all. So this is mainly for whoever just completed chartered accountants. And another visa option is investor visa. This is again a newly added visa option. It means if you wanted to put some investment in UK, and of course we're talking about a bit higher sum here, about 200,000 to start with. So it means in Indian currency, it will be about 2 crore rupees roughly. So if you want to invest something, that sort of money, you can come with an investment and they will give you investor visa. And lastly, because of COVID-19, everywhere economy is locked down. So unlike like everywhere, UK also facing the same scenario. Jobs are cutting down, especially big companies really gonna affecting. And in the next few slides, I will cover up what government doing to make these things better here. So these are the mainly employment opportunities, and there are a lot of things you can go in more detail, but I just briefing it down here today. So now another option, another thing which I think relevant to most of you right now who are in the practice from last few years. What are the options for business outsourcing? It means you are based in India, you wanted to do some outsourcing work, you want to get some work from UK to India, and what are the opportunities? What are the options you have? So I will start with this. Why UK need outsourcing? As you know, cost of living, cost of everything is here quite high compared to India. So whole purpose is to save a cost. But it doesn't mean anyone will compromise with their quality. As long as you are able to deliver the quality they prefer, then only anyone will opt for this option. So that's the main reason. And why India is preferred destination, as everyone know, India has a big pool of talent. Our finance accounting sector, our institute is famous all over the world. The standard they have set up all over the world is quite high. I've been seeing Institute of England and Wales. I have seen Australian Institute, but I can tell you the Indian Chartered Accountant standard is way beyond everything. The way it's been maintained uh, is adorable, very nice. Now I go to the next one. Then what exactly outsourcing happening? So I'm into this business 12 years. So what type of things we outsourcing currently? And what are the generally these are the things anyone can outsource if they want to do some outsourcing thing. So mainly it's come to bookkeeping, accounting, payroll, uh, daily bookkeeping. I'm talking about real accounting there when you get a lot of invoices, entering this into the software and preparing management account for the clients, doing their cash flows and all these things very easily outsourced. And these are the very easy, as long as you have a real model set, you have all the things in place. This is very smooth process. So these are the things we have been doing it. And then there's another thing where is you call it a data management, because here even a small business who going to start serving people or who want to start some ventures or a company, they will do analysis, they will buy some database, they will do analysis whether the product I'm servicing will work in UK market or not. So that's why many opportunities or many work related to analysis and then reporting from your finding from that analysis. Obviously we have softwares for that, but still someone has to run the software, someone has to do a sensitivity analysis to understand how this analysis mean to the businesses. So these are two very big factors. So I will go to my next slide. Generally when outsourcing we started. I have a couple of colleagues who do same business as well, and we just discuss and what are the main 10 key challenges you will face in United Kingdom if you want to start outsourcing. So first, the first and major important challenge you will face is lack of trust. Of course, you are based in back in India, someone sitting in United Kingdom. How they will trust you unless you know them very well, unless you've been in their touch for years, or unless you are referred by someone. So this is a major factor, and this, of course, every problem there's a solution is there. Obviously, the next hurdle I see, you need to know all the UK taxation, VAT laws, payroll laws, a lot of things based similar to India as well, but still you have to study them and find out what are your taxation, how UK taxation works. Then next is, even after you study all the taxation, there will be practical problems going to come. You will stuck every time if there's a new query comes. So you should be in position to solve yourself this query. So this is another hurdle. Then you need to know all the knowledge of local accounting softwares, different software used here compared to back in India. Logics are same, but still the presentations, the taxation is a bit different. The VAT is different than the GST, so you need to get familiar yourself with the softwares. Then, like Sayali as well mentioned, the work ethics. Work ethics quite big difference back in India and compared to what we have in UK. So that also one of the challenges you need to overcome. Time zone difference. So right now we are 4.5 hour difference. We are behind 4.5 hours, and every year once clock changes here, so our difference gonna be 5.5 hours in coming days from October. Then next hurdle is cultural barriers. So what are the cultural barriers we have? Obviously, different culture comes with the different problems or different logics. So these are the barriers you have to overcome. Next, a couple of more important hurdles are intellectual property and data security. It means if you got a client and you're going to get all his database, all their bank statement, all their invoices, they may have some contracts with their suppliers. So all this sensitive data you're going to get. So how they will trust you? What it make them to trust you? How the data is there secure? All these questions obviously in mind before anyone outsource. And next hurdle again is a GDPR rules. It means General Data Protection Regulation comes into effect 2018 in United Kingdom, and I will talk more about it quickly in the next when I give you solution. And lastly, if you want to start something in United Kingdom, you need to have a real good infrastructure back in your office. Like Mr. Hansraj sir also told, like you have to have offices, you have to have a security system in place, and more importantly than that, you have to ready to travel around, because you have to come out of your office now and you have to go to different countries to meet people. Then only it will work, obviously. So these are the main hurdles, and there are a few other things which I think as an Indian Chartered Accountant you will overcome all other things. These are the main key hurdles. And what are the solution for it? When I started my practice, I had the same scenario. These are the same hurdles. So I just want to share what we did to sort it. Of course, few things we did nicely, few we didn't do correctly, but we rectified it. So mainly how to create a trust between the clients in the United Kingdom. So very importantly, you need to have some local presence. Local presence means I don't expect someone sitting in India and someone giving him work. You might get one or client, but it's very unlikely and it's not sustainable as well. So you need to have some local presence. So how you will have some local presence? Local presence means you can have a small office here, you can open a small office here, but again, it will start costing you. Maybe another solution, you can have some good associate here, associate chartered accountancy firm. It may be a small accountancy firm. You can do a tie with them and they can be your front face, and that solve the problem as well. Then you can become an ICAI member, which is very easy route now. That way it gives immense confidence for the local guys if you are a member from the local institute. And there are a lot of seminars happens in UK, and you can keep meeting people in the seminars. It means you have to visit to the UK or wherever you want to outsource. And then when you meet a couple of people again and again, the things have become very easy generally, and they start trusting and exchanging ideas with you as well. Then hurdle about UK taxation. There's a HMRC company our website, and it has all the details what you need. And if you have a problem, you can just straight away call them, and they will give you solution as well. There's a free webinar as well. So once you go through this, I think you will have a clear understanding how the taxes work, and it is pretty simple and straightforward, generally speaking. Then the next hurdle was how you get practical experience, because you just starting your practice, you just got to know all the rules. If you get some odd questions, what's the solution you have? So solution is you can call HMRC, they will give you a solution, or you can have a local accountant on assignment basis, or just a advice basis where they can give you solution, and they get your problem sorted. Another hurdle was how you will know the UK software, which software here everyone use. And so there is a QuickBook, there is a Xero. These are a bookkeeping software. So all businesses generally maintain their account on this software, and it's all online software. And there's a software, a few other software, like back in India we have Taxonomy or something like that, where it produces account in a statutory format to submit to HMRC and company's house. The software called Iris. So again, these are software 30-day free trial available. You can give a try. You can always subscribe if you want, and it doesn't cost a lot, just to let you know. Next one of the next important hurdle is work ethics. So being a chartered accountant from India, I completed like 14 years back. So I know our chartered accountant, we are all skilled and talented people, but I still believe that time we are lacking big marketing, big presentation skill. I wouldn't say this happening now, because now after last 5-6 years, these things have improved quite a lot, but we were lacking that skill. So you need to get your presentation skill very high. High means it has to be above top level. You have to be very, once you commit something, you have to fulfill that. Example, in last 7-8 years, if we get any email, hardly we take 20 or 30 minutes. It never happened we replied anyone more than 30 minutes. This is how you have to be on your toes, unfortunately, but this is how it works. And if you provide services, you get a reasonably good return for it as well. So it's a both win-win situation for both of you. Next hurdle was time zone difference. Of course, our whole team works as per the UK time. Obviously, they start late and they finish late, and it's about 9 or 10 o'clock you have to finish, which is not bad actually. Then next, cultural barriers is also a very important factor. Once I started staying here, I realized culture barrier are one of the very important factor. Example, one of the thing which is normal for us, it may be offensive for few people here. So you have to be careful, and you have to understand how the local culture works. Generally, it's summertime, the weather is good that time, people will do more businesses, you will get more opportunity, getting client chances are more in summer compared to winter. Just I'm giving you one example. If there is any football match going to happen, I don't think so that full day you will able to speak with anyone, or you will not have opportunity to work with anyone. So these are a bit cultural difference we have. And apart from that, Sayali also mentioned very importantly, you need to have an accent. You need to have a proper, very clear accent, and it has to be just matching with a British accent. And obviously, this we don't expect anyone will know British accent until he study or until he do a training on it. So I had the same problem. So I knew, like after completing my chartered accountancy, I need to go UK and do this sort of business. So I joined like one call center, British-based call center, just to learn how the accent works. And there are a lot of online courses available as well, or a lot of free webinars available. You should learn, and it really helps. Trust me, it really helps. You have a local accent. It gives a comfort to the people. Then another next hurdle was what are the legal softwares you need to keep. So very importantly, all your softwares in the office has to be licensed. All your Microsoft Office, Word, everything has to be licensed copy. That's very important. It will be so easy to get caught if you don't have a licenses, and you need to have a right security and everything in place. I'm talking about computer security as well as the physical security as well. And another, the new hurdle come in 2018. Every company who work in a public, like we are a chartered accountants and we are working in a public. So it means you have to be compliant with GDPR, General Data Protection Rule, because you've been dealing with other people's database. So there's a lot of tick box. You have to go through the process. You have to tick all the boxes to make sure you're taking enough care of their database and all. And then you'll get this sorted. And there are a lot of consultants who can help you if you needed that. And lastly, you need to have a really good office. About office, I would say the infrastructure wise, and I still believe the outsourcing can happen more in a tier 2 and tier 3 city than a tier 1. Now cities like Nagpur, Aurangabad, I think it's a big potential than compared to Mumbai and Pune and even Delhi and all. Only reason is there is a costing, salary costing is quite different, because you will get talent everywhere because you are a qualified chartered accountant whether you're based in Mumbai or Nagpur. The quality is everywhere. It's just a cost wise, how long the people can work for you and how motivated they are, how the employee turnaround period happening. All these things come into picture when you set up your back office anywhere in India. And same will be thing. Same UK companies will think about it as well. So realistically, we have a greater opportunity to go for it compared to Mumbai and all. Obviously, Mumbai is centrally located. Travel and all become easy, but travel you have to do a couple of times until you get a client. Then it's all based from your office only. And last one thing I need to add here, after doing all these challenges, you get yours sorted with all your problems and everything. What we realized, first 2 3 years, we were very generalized practice. We were doing all sort of works. We're not focused on any particular sector. So what we decided, let's focus on hospitality industry because in UK, trust me, hospitality industry is one of the biggest industries. It covering like 6% of total GDP of the UK. People from all over the world come here just for eat food. You have different cuisines, so it's a huge market here. And we thought let's concentrate on the hospitality industry. And after doing this, after in 2 3 years, we getting quite a good clients and we become expert in hospitality industry. And right now, out of 10 big famous hospitality industry, 4 or 5 are our clients. And whenever someone new come, someone big come, they know they get referred for us or they know our name at least. So it might be good idea you do some research and target on one industry first to get start. And once you settle down, you have a whole market open for you. With this, I will go to my quickly in the same point. There are few things I need to brush up quickly. So what acquiring your first client, that's the whole aim for doing everything, doing all this exercise, learning, settling, seeing all the challenges to acquire first client. And this is the only difficult part. Once you have your first client, things will be very easy. Getting a multiple clients become easy. It's the same repetitive process. Just you need to get your first client. So how you will get your first client? So first client, I think I mentioned a few easier way. One is networking or networking event. It means you have to be travel. You have to travel around the world. You have to meet people in in the seminars. Then only your networking will happen. Again, LinkedIn, Facebook marketing, Google Analytics, these are the marketing avenues. Of course, we need to think what are our ethical guidance given by our institute, but within our guideline, these are the options we can promote our businesses. Then you obviously, I'm sure everyone will have some friend in the United Kingdom, some local reference. So, and if they know you have started this sort of services, they might refer you someone. And to get one client from someone's reference, things are very easy. They know the UK guys know there's a strong reference behind it, and everything is genuine back in India. So this is one of the easy way to start with as well. Then you can have a lot of local associates. You mean you can contact various chartered accountancy firm in UK, just sign MOU with them, do a contract with them, and they can become your local associate. And once they know what are the benefits of cost saving and everything, they might become your client as well once they know you very well. Then there are a couple of more things. Yeah, there's a lot of companies here who provide database services. It's legally allowed here. So companies generate database as per your requirement. And again, they generate leads for you. Leads means once from their database, they find out who are the potential clients who need accountant or who maybe wanted to do account outsourcing. They find out the contacts for them for you as well. Of course, you will have to pay for it, but this is one of the very good services we've been using as well last couple of years. And last point on this is very interesting, and I'm pretty sure in India we're not used to this type of things, but I think it will come at some point. In UK, you can buy and sell your accounting practice. It means example of, and this is not generally for beginners. It is for someone who settled down after 5 6 years. You can think for these options. So 5 years back, we been approached by one of chartered accountant who is about 65 years age, and he want to get retired from his practice. And there are official agents here who buy and sell practice for you. So we are obviously registered with them, and they know we are actively looking to buy practice, and that's how the one of the practices arrived to us. They are reasonably medium sort of practice, and then he wanted to get retired, and that's how we took over this practice. It means all our day clients handling by us under our name from as soon as we take over. Obviously, you will have there's a certain percentage, there's a calculation behind it. You will have to pay premium to the outgoing practice manager. Sorry, let me have some water quickly. Yeah, so once you buy practice, it doesn't mean the work is finished. The person who's selling you practice stay with you for 2 years to make sure transition happen correctly. All the clients are happy, all the process they've been set up is followed the correct way. If there may be possibility where few clients leave after 1 year, 2 years, so your premium what you paid will be adjusted accordingly. So these are various factors happens here. So this is one of the really good option where someone want to establish and don't want to lose all the time doing all the basic works, doing overcoming all these challenges. These are the easier way as long as you're ready to invest in the buying practice. But obviously once you buy, it means you will have to maintain it as well. So you should be ready with all these things before you buy practice. So these are the bit available and scenarios for the Indian chartered accountants in UK. And now I go to my next point, and this is very interesting and I think it's near to me as well, because this is what I thought after working 7-8 years. I thought this is one of the really easy opportunity for Indian chartered accountant who are based in India, because to come over here, do all these things, you have your time restriction, you have financial commitments, so it's not easy for everyone. There will be very few people who have a time and ready to do all these things. So another option you have, you based in India, and what are the opportunities you have from India about UK market. As we all know, world is very local market now. There is no border restriction. Anyone selling anything from anywhere, as long as you have ability to connect online, as long as you have an intention to go global. Whether there's no more you needed, you can be a small businesses, you can be a big company. It doesn't matter anymore now. Every business, most of the business, in fact, wanted to go global as long as they know the route what they have to go, where they have to go. So Indian chartered accountants can play a very big role in that, because you are not just about doing their audits and assigning balance sheet, but we are responsibilities to help them to grow their business, give them all the options available, tell them the opportunities around the world, and if they grow, obviously our practice will grow as well. So I can just want to give one quick example. One of the bookshop. So this is one of the guy who based near Delhi. He running very small bookshop where he buy and I think he produce or buy or sell some novels and like Mahabharata, Ramayana. And he approaches 5 years back to us. He wanted to sell his books in UK and US as well. So we open a company here for him. He never visited here. In fact, first 2 years he never visited here. Then he visited here. We open a company for him. Everything is settled online. We open a bank account for his company. His supply chain is everything settled down, because there are a lot of agents who solve this all for you. And within 3 years, his business become multiples. And this is the way you have to think. I think it's very easy process. In this similar example, I just want to go through a few points where how UK-based businesses can come here and how you can help them to come here. And the process is very simple, legal, straightforward. To form a company in UK, you don't need to be UK citizen. You can be an Indian citizen. You can easily form a company as long as you have a UK local address. And here you can have address services. It means someone will give you his address to use on the rent as well. So you can open a company. Formalities are very straightforward. You have, like India, here every company has their own year end. It means whenever you come form a company, that's your year end. It's not about March or it's not about any December. Any company can decide whichever year end they have to do it. And then once you register your company, you can get example, if someone want to sell something on Amazon UK, you just register your company here, you register with Amazon, and you can start selling straight away. And the supply chain is so easy nowadays, so well managed. The process is very smooth. It's just someone has to start this, think out of the box, and start whichever activities they think can be done overseas, whether it's the UK, Europe, or even the US. This can work. Obviously, once you open company overseas, you need to have certain RBI formalities, which is part and parcel, which need to be completed. Who can be director shareholder? Anyone can be director shareholder, whether you can be a shareholder 100%, your company back in India can be 100% shareholder of UK company. And for some reason, example, if your business doesn't do well and you don't want to continue anyway, the closure process of company is very straightforward. As long as you do all legal things, you haven't done anything odd things, your company will get closed in matter of 1 or 2 months without very minimum cost. There is some small charges you will have to pay to the company house, and your company will get closed. And lastly, in the same regard, you have a lot of Indian banks here to support Indian businesses. SBI here, ICAI, Axis, all banks are here. They are on the high street. They are here to help Indian businesses who come out here, want to expand their business. So that's another easy way to rotate your money around. So I completed this third point, important, and the fourth one I just want to brush up quickly about ICAW membership. Sayali has explained in very detail what are the options you available, what are the things you can do with it. So I will not go in more detail about the process and everything. But if you want to do something in UK, this is the correct channel. You will have to get ICAW membership. Once you get a membership, it doesn't mean you need to get a practicing certificate. So getting membership, it doesn't cost. It costs, but doesn't cost a lot because the return is quite high. The impact of this degree locally is going to create a big impact. So this is an easy option, and you should think if you want to do something in UK related to account finance, this is the first thing you will have to do, I guess. So I will not go in more details. And of course, if you have any questions about it, you can ask me later on as well. Now I want to come up with last 2 points, and they are very important. One, about how UK government treating this coronavirus 19 packages to the businesses in UK, how they think about businesses, and what are the measures they're taking. Like we have Atmanirbhar package in India. Few people are happy, few are not happy with it. But let me summarize what main 4 packages given by UK government to the local people and the businesses. The first is job retention scheme. Job retention scheme means government, the UK government paying employment costs for everyone, whether you're working in a government company, whether you're working in a private company. As long as you are employed under that company, government will pay the salary. Of course, there's a cap of £2,500 per person per month, and government will pay you 80% of your salary. Just imagine millions of workers working in a private companies, public companies, and government paying their all the wages to make sure this company are survive. And from the month of March, they're paying these wages. So March, April, we are in June now, and they have planned to pay this till October. It means just imagine a company without all the costs is paid by the government for all employees. So this is like a major game changer. Of course, we're talking into big numbers here, billions of pounds we're talking about, but this is the scheme government comes up, and it's helping a lot of businesses. They're surviving because of that. Second is very important for the businesses. Government announced bounce back loan. It means if you are a UK businesses, if you are a UK company, and if you are affected by coronavirus 19, is everyone affected by it, then you will able to claim £50,000 loan or 25% of your turnover, whichever is the maximum limit is 50,000. It means if your business have a reasonably good turnover, £50,000 means about 50 lakh rupees. So you can apply a single one-page form loan, and you get your money second in your bank account. And another good thing, there is no interest for it. First year is all interest free. There is no charges. There is no arrangement fees at all. And you have to repay it in 2 to 6 years, and the interest rate will be 2.5% per annum. So again, the businesses getting such a free money, they will obviously invest in their businesses and try to find out the solution to how to run businesses during this pandemic and how the things going to change in the future. Again, quickly, self-employment, the person who is like a sole trader back in India, we call it self-trader, a government giving them cash money. So whatever you are earning is equivalent to 3 months of money, government already given to everyone. This money comes straight away in your bank account. And lastly, business grant. It means you have a front office. Example, we have an office on a high street or any restaurant, government giving them grant 10 to 25,000 as per their categories, and you get this money straight away in your account in 2 days. So these are the various big packages given by government. Just to the whole point showing this is how active government is towards the businesses, and they know pumping in the money will generate a good result for the economy, and that's how the approach they've been following. And last point, which is actually so relevant, what are the opportunities in the property market in United Kingdom? Since I'm into property market as well last 4 or 5 years, uh, UK property market is very straightforward. There is no odd things. Everything on the paper. You don't expect any legal battle or something like that. Any business transaction, if I want to buy some property, I will not know the third person until I finish the transaction. There is agents, they are the solicitor. Even if I need to pay money for my buying property, I will not pay to the third person. I will pay to the solicitor, and my solicitor will pay to the seller's solicitor. This is how it works. So basically, this is the route everyone has to follow as well. And there is a less chances anything goes wrong. Solicitor do all necessary checks. Your property is well within the rules. There is no odd things happen, and generally, it's very clean and neat market realistically on point of view legal framework. And last couple of things, student housing market. So as you know, UK is one of the biggest student-driven economy. About 40-50,000 Indian student comes and million all over the world students come. So student housing market is a very big upcoming market where we build a property as per the student requires near the university and you're renting it out. And generally when you build up a property or whenever you buy a property, there's a mortgage called buy to let mortgage. You never heard this term before. This mortgage means whatever property amount you're buying, 75% of the amount will be given by government as a loan by banks, obviously. And the interest rate will be about 2%, 2.5%. And just imagine you have to pay only interest. You never need to pay repayment, any principal amount. Principal amount only you pay if you want to sell the property or if you have enough money just to pay it off. So just imagine you bought 1 crore rupees and you're paying 20,000 rupees as an installment towards that. That's how it make very lucrative business. And why I wanted to tell you this today, because as a chartered accountants, many of you might be in this business or you will have a client who are really aim to go global. They may be property development or he may be property investor. It's very easy to buy property here. Once he build up credit history through a company, he will easily get these loans as well. So this is again, and of course, if we grow, our practice will grow as well. So this is the whole point telling behind it, how the property market works, and especially a lot of Chinese and Russian people invested heavily in this student housing market. And I think India is on the third or fourth position. So a lot of people in India know about it. A lot of builders and investors investing in that. So you should know about it as well. So these are just a brief. I hope I tried to cover most of the point. I hope it's been clear to everyone. And I think I thank you everyone for listening patiently. I think we are about to finish our time as well. So Akshay.
Thank you so much, Mayur. Definitely, it was wonderful deliberation. This COVID has made all the countries and the governments Atmanirbhar. At the same time, it has created a bridge between different professionals across the world. So we can imagine, had it been there was no COVID, we could not have Mayur Sancheti live here directly from London. So we can thank COVID for that matter. Thank you so much, Mayur sir, for such a wonderful deliberation, as well as thank you, Sayali ma'am, as well, for sparing your valuable time and interacting with us. Definitely, the way you elaborated about the opportunities available in UK in very easy manner, it will definitely help all of us. To conclude, I request Secretary of Nagpur Branch, CA Jiten Saglani sir, offer for over to you, Jiten.
Yeah, thank you, Akshay. I hope I'm audible. Yeah. So, friends, we are here to formally conclude this session, which is opportunities in UK, and we are thankful to two speakers, namely Mayur Sancheti ji from London and Sayali Kothari ji from Pune. Along with that, I should not miss Hansraj Chugh sir, who was there from Delhi, and he spared his valuable time to actually set the tone for this session. So he did a wonderful task. I must thank COVID, as Akshay rightly pointed out. It is all because of COVID that we are divided by COVID as well as united by COVID, because we are divided because we are not doing this program in physical presence of the speakers as well as members, but we are united because we are getting so excellent speakers and say members who are spread across the world. They're coming onto this common platform, and we are having this wonderful session. So friends, I would like to thank all the two speakers as well as Hansraj ji, as well as I wish to thank all the attendees of this particular seminar webinar who are here, who are patiently listening to all of the speakers as well as the mentors. So thank you thank you all. On behalf of the Nagpur branch, I wish to conclude this session, and I request you all to kindly join in all the endeavors of the Nagpur branch, which Kirit sir already had elaborated in his opening remarks. So thank you everyone. Thank you Akshay as well for coordinating it very well. And let's hope to see each and every member again and again. Thank you. Thank you Mayur ji. Thank you madam as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So much.
Thank
We
you.
are signing off. Thank you all the participants.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
much.
Thank you.